The large meeting hall of the Galactic Council buzzed with strange sounds and smells. Commander Lisa Mitchell stood tall despite feeling small among the diverse alien species. Her blue uniform with the Earth Alliance patch felt too tight as she waited to speak. This was humanity's first official meeting with the Galactic Council, and everything had to go right. "Humans of Earth, you may approach," announced the council leader, a tall being with 6 eyes that glowed like soft blue stars. Lisa stepped forward with her team. Dr. Alan Garcia, the team's xenobiologist, walked on her right. His dark eyes studied every alien with wonder and excitement. On her left walked Samantha Powell, their cultural liaison, whose job was to help avoid any mistakes that might offend the aliens. "Thank you for welcoming us to the Galactic Council," Lisa said, her voice clear and strong. "Earth is honored to be considered for membership in your community of worlds." The hall filled with a mix of clicks, hums, and words in strange languages as the translation devices worked to share her message with all present. A large reptilian being with scales that shimmered like oil on water leaned forward. "I am Ambassador Krell of the Zoraxian Empire. We have reviewed your species data. Your average lifespan is less than 100 years. Lisa nodded. "Yes, humans typically live between 70 and 90 years. Sudden laughter, or what sounded like laughter, filled the hall. The reptilian ambassador's mouth opened in what might have been a smile, showing rows of sharp teeth. "Fascinating. We Zoraxians live for at least 500 years. Some of our elders have seen a millennium pass," Krell said. "How does your species accomplish anything of value in such a brief flash of existence?" Before Lisa could answer, another alien spoke. This one looked like a walking crystal formation that glowed from within. "Luminar representatives live for thousands of years," the crystal being said, its voice like music. "We are currently working on projects that will take 300 years to complete. How could humans possibly contribute to such long-term plans when your entire lives are so temporary?" Lisa felt her face grow hot, but she kept her voice steady. "The brevity of our lives gives us drive and determination. We accomplish much in the time we have. Like children rushing to finish a game before bedtime," Krell said, causing more laughter. Dr. Garcia stepped forward. "If I may speak, our biological research shows that human cells have unique properties. Our shorter lifespans may have pushed us to develop differently from your species." The crystal Luminaran moved in a way that seemed dismissive. "Interesting theory from a species of mayflies. No offense intended, of course." "Mayflies," repeated Krell. "Yes, that's quite fitting. Here today, gone tomorrow." Samantha Powell spoke up, her diplomatic training evident in her calm voice. "In human culture, comparing sentient beings to insects would be considered highly disrespectful. Is that your intention, Ambassador?" A moment of uncomfortable silence followed. The council leaders' 6 eyes blinked in sequence. Cultural differences noted. "Let us return to more practical matters. Earth wishes to join in galactic trade, correct?" Lisa nodded. "Yes, we have many resources and technologies to offer." "Perhaps," said Krell, "but can you commit to trade agreements that might take decades to fulfill? Will the next generation of human leaders honor what you promised today? And how can we include you in scientific exchanges when you might not live to see the results?" added the Luminaran. Lisa looked around the room at the ancient beings who viewed her species as barely more than children. For the first time since leaving Earth, she felt truly alien. "We may not live as long as you," she said firmly, "but we live fully in the time we have. Judge us by our actions, not by our years." The council leader nodded slowly. "Very well, Commander Mitchell. We shall see what your short-lived species can offer to those who measure time in centuries." As the meeting continued, Lisa knew this was just the beginning of a difficult path for humanity among the stars. The aliens might laugh at human lifespans now, but she had a feeling they would not be laughing forever. Dr. Eric Collins stared at the screen showing the Galactic Council meeting. His lab was quiet except for the sound of the recording. He watched as aliens laughed at Commander Mitchell and her team because humans didn't live long enough to matter. Play it again, Eric said to his computer. He pushed his glasses up and leaned closer. The reptilian alien's voice filled the room once more. How does your species accomplish anything of value in such a brief flash of existence? Eric turned off the video and stood up. At 42, he was already worried about time running out on his research. Now, hearing aliens mock humanity's short lives made him even more determined. They think we're too short-lived to matter, he whispered. I'll show them how wrong they are. The next morning, Eric called his research partner, Dr. Olivia Morris, to his office. Olivia was younger than Eric by 10 years, but just as brilliant. Her specialty was DNA mapping and repair. I have an idea, Eric said, spreading papers across his desk. What if our short lifespans aren't a weakness, but a sign of something special about human DNA? Olivia picked up one of the papers. What do you mean? Look at this data from the alien species profiles. The longer-lived species have very stable DNA, almost no mutations over centuries. And humans? Olivia asked. Our DNA changes and adapts quickly. We've evolved faster than any species the Council has encountered. Eric's eyes were bright with excitement. What if we could control that adaptation? Direct it toward cellular regeneration. Olivia looked skeptical. You're talking about extending human life. That's been tried for centuries. Not like this, Eric said. I'm talking about activating dormant pathways in our DNA that might already exist. Our cells know how to heal. They just forget over time. Over the next few weeks, Eric and Olivia put together a proposal. They called it Project Longevity. They sent it to the Earth Alliance Science Division, not expecting much. Most of Eric's innovative ideas had been rejected before for being too risky. This time was different. 3 days after sending the proposal, they received a call from General Peter Wells of the Earth Alliance. Your proposal has been approved with top priority funding, the general said, his face serious on the video screen. After the Galactic Council meeting, Earth needs to prove our worth. Your project might give us that chance. Eric could hardly believe it. Thank you, sir. We won't let you down. See that you don't. The fate of humanity's place in the galaxy might depend on your work. With funding approved, Eric and Olivia assembled a team of the best scientists from around the world. They converted an old research facility outside of Denver into their new lab. Their team included geneticists, biologists, and medical researchers, all working toward one goal: finding a way to extend human life. 6 months into the project, they made their first breakthrough. Olivia discovered a sequence in human DNA that appeared to control how cells age. It was hidden in what scientists used to call junk DNA, parts that seemed to have no purpose. Look at this, she told Eric one night, showing him the data. When exposed to certain proteins, these sequences activate and cells start to regenerate. Eric studied the results. This is amazing, but we need to test it more. There's something else, Olivia said. I compared our DNA to the alien species profiles. None of them have this sequence. It's unique to humans. Eric looked up from the data. So while they were living their long, stable lives, we were evolving something completely new, Olivia finished his thought. For the first time, Eric felt real hope. The very thing aliens mocked. Humanity's short lifespans had pushed humans to develop something unique, something that might change everything. Tomorrow, Eric said with determination, we start testing on living cells. As they left the lab that night, neither of them noticed the security guard watching them too closely. The guard, Daniel Wright, quietly took out a small device and sent a message to someone off-planet. The message was simple. They'd found something. The humans are making progress. Somewhere in space, Ambassador Krell of the Zoraxian Empire received the message and smiled, showing all his sharp teeth. 2 years passed quickly at the Denver research facility. The scientists worked day and night, testing their theories on cell samples. Progress was slow but steady. One cold winter morning, Eric rushed into Olivia's lab, his face glowing with excitement. "It works," he said, placing a tablet on her desk. "Look at these results." Olivia looked at the data and gasped. The test cells had not only stopped aging, but had actually reversed their age markers. They were growing younger. How much longer could this make people live? She asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Based on these results, Eric said, we could extend human lifespan by 10 times, maybe more. And the best part is that brain cells respond perfectly. No loss of memory or cognitive function. News of their discovery spread through the facility like wildfire. That night, the team celebrated. After 2 years of hard work, they finally had proof that human lifespans could be extended far beyond what anyone thought possible. Unknown to them, the security guard Daniel Wright slipped away during the celebration. In the quiet of the facility's bathroom, he sent a coded message to his real employer. Breakthrough confirmed. Human longevity extension successful. Estimated potential: 800,000 years with full mental capacity. The reply came quickly. Acquire all research data. Delete originals. Priority level: highest. Daniel put away his communication device and rejoined the party. He smiled and raised a glass with the other team members while planning how to steal their work. 3 days later, news of the breakthrough reached the Galactic Council. Commander Lisa Mitchell, now promoted to Admiral, was in a meeting with Council representatives when an aide whispered the news in her ear. She fought to keep her face neutral as the meeting continued. The Luminoran delegate was discussing trade restrictions on Earth goods when Ambassador Krell interrupted. "I have just received interesting news," the reptilian said, his eyes fixed on Lisa. "It seems humans are working on extending their pitiful lifespans." The council hall went silent. "That is a private Earth Alliance project," Lisa said carefully. "Are you trying to become more like us?" Krell asked with a mocking tone. "Do you think living longer will earn you respect?" The Luminoran delegate's crystal form shimmered. Such research could upset the balance of the galactic community. Species development should follow natural paths. Lisa stood her ground. There is nothing unnatural about scientific progress. Humans have always sought to improve their condition. That night, as Lisa prepared to return to Earth to check on the research project, the attack happened. Back at the Denver facility, Eric was working late. Most of the team had gone home, but he wanted to run one more test. Olivia had stayed to help him. The explosion rocked the west wing of the building. Alarms blared as smoke filled the hallways. "What's happening?" Olivia cried out. Before Eric could answer, the lab door burst open. Daniel Wright stood there with 3 alien figures, Zoraxians in environment suits designed for Earth's atmosphere. "Don't move," Daniel said, pointing a weapon at them. "This will be quick." Eric stepped in front of Olivia. "Daniel, you're working for them." "For 2 years," Daniel said with a cold smile. "The Zoraxians pay better than Earth Alliance." "What do you want?" Olivia asked, her voice shaking. "Everything," one of the Zoraxians said. "Your research cannot be allowed to succeed. Humans must remain short-lived and weak." While they talked, Eric slowly reached behind him and pressed a button on his computer. A silent backup process began, copying key research files to a secure server. "The data is on the main server," Daniel told the Zoraxians. "I'll show you." As they moved toward the server room, Eric tried to block their path. "You can't do this. This research could help all species, not just humans." Daniel raised his weapon and fired. The blast hit Eric in the chest, throwing him against the wall. He crumpled to the floor as Olivia screamed. "Eric!" She ran to him as blood spread across his lab coat. The Zoraxians and Daniel continued to the server room. Minutes later, alarms indicated that the main systems were being accessed and wiped. By the time security arrived, the attackers had escaped with the research data. The facility was in flames, and Eric lay unconscious, barely clinging to life. As medical teams rushed Eric to the hospital, news of the attack spread across Earth. Humanity's great hope had been stolen, and its creator might not survive the night. White hospital walls surrounded Eric as he slowly opened his eyes. The beeping of machines filled the room. His chest hurt with every breath. He tried to sit up but couldn't. "Don't move," said a familiar voice. Olivia stood up from a chair beside his bed. "You've been out for 3 weeks." 3 weeks. Eric's voice was rough from lack of use. "The research, it's all gone." Olivia looked around to make sure they were alone. Then she leaned close and whispered, "Not all of it. Your backup worked. I recovered about 80% of our data." A weak smile crossed Eric's face. Smart thinking. The door opened, and Admiral Lisa Mitchell walked in. She looked tired, with dark circles under her eyes. "Dr. Collins," she said, "good to see you awake." "Admiral," Eric nodded. "Sorry about the project." Lisa pulled up a chair. "The attack wasn't your fault. The Zoraxians have shown their true colors. They don't want humans to be their equals." "What happens now?" Eric asked. "Now we fight back," Lisa said firmly. "The Earth Alliance has formed a special team to protect what's left of your research and to continue the work in secret." Over the next few days, as Eric grew stronger, he learned more about this team. Major Frank Rodriguez, a tough military strategist, would lead security. A new lab was being built deep underground in the Rocky Mountains where Olivia had already started rebuilding their research. 1 month after the attack, Eric was finally released from the hospital. His first stop was the new lab. "Impressive," he said as he toured the facility. Armed guards stood at every entrance. The lab equipment was even better than what they had before. "We've made progress while you recovered," Olivia said, showing him their latest results. "But we're still missing key parts of the formula." Eric studied the data carefully. "I think I can fill in the gaps, but we need to test it." Major Rodriguez, who had been quietly following them, spoke up. "Test it on who? We can't risk civilian test subjects. If the Zoraxians find out, they might attack again." Eric took a deep breath. "Test it on me." "That's too dangerous," Olivia protested. "We don't know all the side effects yet." "I created this," Eric said. "I should be the one to test it. Besides, I'm already damaged goods." He touched the scar on his chest, where Daniel's weapon had hit him. After much debate, the team agreed. If anyone should take the risk, it was the creator of the formula. 2 weeks later, everything was ready. Eric lay on a medical bed while Olivia prepared the injection. "This will either extend your life by centuries," she said, "or it might kill you today." Eric nodded. "Some risks are worth taking." The clear liquid entered his veins. At first, nothing happened. Then pain shot through every cell in his body. Eric arched his back and screamed. The monitors showed his heart racing, then slowing, then almost stopping. "We're losing him," someone shouted. Olivia grabbed emergency medicines, but before she could use them, Eric's vital signs stabilized. His heart rate returned to normal. His brain activity, which had spiked dangerously high, settled into regular patterns. For 3 days, Eric remained unconscious while his body changed from the inside out. The team took turns watching him, measuring every change in his cells. On the 4th day, Eric woke up. He felt different, stronger. His vision was sharper than it had ever been. He could hear conversations in the hallway outside his room. "How do you feel?" Olivia asked when she saw he was awake. "I feel..." Eric searched for the right word. "Everything. I feel everything more clearly." Tests showed that Eric's cells were regenerating at an amazing rate. The old scar on his chest was fading. His hair, which had started to gray, was returning to its original color. But the most surprising changes were in his brain. Eric could remember things with perfect clarity. He could solve complex problems in seconds that would have taken him hours before. The treatment didn't just extend your potential lifespan, Olivia explained as she reviewed his test results. It enhanced your brain function too. As Eric adapted to his new abilities, Admiral Mitchell received troubling news from her contacts in the Galactic Council. The Zoraxians were planning to announce a medical breakthrough, claiming they had discovered a way to extend the lives of lesser species. They're going to use our research and claim it as their own, Lisa told the team. We need proof that they stole it. When are they making this announcement? Eric asked. In 8 months, at a special council session. Eric smiled. Perfect. By then, I'll be ready to show them what humans are really capable of. The Grand Hall of the Galactic Council was packed with representatives from over 200 alien species. Today was an important day. The Zoraxian Empire had called this special meeting to announce a major scientific breakthrough. Ambassador Krell stood proudly at the speaking platform, his scales gleaming under the bright lights. Behind him stood a team of Zoraxian scientists, their faces serious and proud. Fellow council members, Krell began, his voice booming through the hall. For centuries, we advanced species have looked upon shorter-lived races with pity. Today, the Zoraxian Empire is proud to announce a gift to the galaxy. Murmurs filled the room as images appeared on large screens around the hall. They showed cellular structures changing, repairing themselves. Our scientists have discovered a way to extend the lifespans of lesser species, Krell continued. With this treatment, even humans could live for centuries instead of mere decades. In the back of the hall, a small group of humans entered quietly. Admiral Lisa Mitchell led them, her face showing no emotion. Behind her walked Dr. Olivia Morris, Major Rodriguez, and a tall man in a dark coat with a hood covering his face. This discovery will change the future of the galaxy, Krell was saying. Under Zoraxian guidance, we can help many species live longer, more productive lives. Lisa stepped forward. Ambassador Krell, she called out, her voice cutting through the hall. The Earth Alliance would like to examine this wonderful discovery. Krell's eyes narrowed as he spotted Lisa. Admiral Mitchell. I wasn't aware humans were invited to this session. We received a special invitation from the council leader, Lisa replied with a small smile. After all, this discovery would affect humans most of all, wouldn't it? The council leader, with all 6 eyes blinking, nodded. It seemed appropriate to include them. Achievement. Lisa's voice was sharp. Or theft. The hall went silent. What are you suggesting? Krell hissed. I suggest, Lisa said clearly, that this research was stolen from Earth scientists after an attack that left one of our best researchers nearly dead. A serious accusation. The council leader said. Do you have proof? We do. Lisa turned and gestured to the hooded figure. May I present Dr. Eric Collins, the true creator of this longevity treatment. Eric stepped forward and lowered his hood. Gasps filled the room. The Eric that stood before them looked younger than he had years ago. His eyes were clear and bright, his skin glowing with health. Impossible, Krell said. This human is lying. Am I? Eric asked calmly. Then let's compare notes. Your treatment targets the regressive sequence in the 3rd chromosome strand, doesn't it? It activates dormant pathways that reset cellular aging markers. The Zoraxian scientists behind Krell looked at each other nervously. Furthermore, Eric continued, the treatment causes temporary pain during cellular restructuring, followed by enhanced sensory perception. A side effect your scientists probably haven't figured out how to control yet. One of the Zoraxian scientists stepped back, clearly shocked by Eric's knowledge. The Luminoran representative rose from their seat, crystal body glimmering. Council leader, I request neutral medical verification of this human's claims. Agreed, said the council leader. Medical experts from 3 different species examined Eric, scanning his body and taking samples of his blood and tissue. The cellular age of this human does not match his chronological age, announced the chief medical officer. His cells show signs of recent regeneration unlike anything we've seen before. And his DNA, asked the council leader, contains markers of deliberate modification consistent with the treatment Ambassador Krell described. The medical officer confirmed. Chaos erupted in the hall. Council members shouted questions and accusations. Silence. The council leader's voice echoed through the room. Ambassador Krell, how do you respond to this evidence? Krell's scales darkened with rage. This proves nothing. The humans could have copied our research. Except, Olivia spoke up for the first time. We have video evidence of your agents attacking our facility. And one of your spies confessed after we captured him trying to leave Earth. Lisa stepped forward again. The Earth Alliance does not seek punishment for the Zoraxians. We only want recognition of the truth and respect for our right to develop our own scientific advances. The council leader stared at Krell with all 6 eyes. It seems, Ambassador, that these short-lived humans have outsmarted you. Perhaps we have all underestimated them. As Krell fumed in silence, Eric stood tall among the aliens who had once mocked his species. The humans' greatest weakness had led to their greatest strength, and the galaxy would never be the same. News of what happened at the council meeting spread quickly across the galaxy. Within days, every advanced civilization knew that humans had discovered how to extend their lives. The balance of power was shifting. 1 week after the meeting, Admiral Lisa Mitchell sat in a small conference room with Eric and Olivia. Representatives from 12 different alien species waited outside, all wanting to speak with them. Everyone wants to be our friend now, Lisa said with a hint of bitterness. Strange how that happened. Eric nodded. They ignored us when they thought we would die before accomplishing anything important. Now they see us as a threat. Or an opportunity, Olivia added. The first group invited into the room were the Luminarans. Their crystal bodies glowed softly as they entered. We wish to discuss a scientific exchange. The lead Luminaran said, Your species has shown remarkable innovation. We were wrong to dismiss you. Throughout the day, more delegations came and went. Some, like the Luminarans, wanted alliances. Others wanted to study the human treatment. A few even offered valuable technologies in exchange for access to the longevity research. But not everyone was pleased. In the late afternoon, Krell arrived with 2 Zoraxian guards. The Zoraxian Empire demands that humans share this technology with all council species, he said without greeting them. Lisa raised an eyebrow. Demands. That's an interesting approach after you tried to steal it and claim it as your own. Krell's scales darkened. Your species is too young to control such power. Humans with 1,000-year lifespans would upset the galactic balance. The balance where you look down on us? Eric asked calmly. Before Krell could answer, alarms sounded throughout the building. Major Rodriguez burst into the room. We've detected Zoraxian warships entering Earth's solar system, he reported. They're not responding to communication attempts. Krell smiled, showing his sharp teeth. Perhaps now you understand the seriousness of this situation. The Zoraxian Empire will not allow humans to keep this advantage to themselves. Lisa stood up, her face cold with anger. Is this a declaration of war, Ambassador? A show of strength, Krell replied. Share the treatment with all council species, under proper supervision, or face the consequences. After Krell left, an emergency council session was called. The debate lasted for hours. Some species supported the humans' right to their discovery. Others feared what would happen if humans lived as long as the older races while keeping their quick adaptability. The Luminaran representative finally proposed a compromise. Humans may keep and use their treatment, but must share the scientific principles with the Council. A joint committee will oversee its use across species. As the debate continued, Eric slipped away to a quiet observation deck. He looked out at the stars, thinking about how far humanity had come. Olivia found him there. You look troubled, she said. I've been running tests on myself, Eric replied. There's something else happening with the treatment. Something I didn't expect. He pulled up data on a small tablet and showed it to her. Look at how my cells respond to different environments. The treatment doesn't just extend life, it makes humans more adaptable. Olivia studied the data with wide eyes. This means It means we can adapt to new planets, new conditions, faster than any other species. Eric finished her thought. The very thing that made our lives short, our cells' ability to change quickly, is what makes this treatment so powerful for us. Does Lisa know? Olivia asked. Eric shook his head. Not yet, but this explains why the Zoraxians are so afraid. They live long, stable lives because they hardly change at all. We change constantly. And now we'll have time to use that ability, Olivia whispered. Back in the council chamber, the vote was nearly tied. The council leader turned to Lisa. What does Earth propose? The leader asked. Lisa stood tall among the ancient beings who had once mocked her species. Earth proposes partnership, not control, she said firmly. We will share our discovery, but we will not be supervised like children. The time for looking down on humans has passed. As the council considered her words, Eric and Olivia slipped back into the room. Tell them, Olivia whispered. Eric nodded and stepped forward, ready to reveal the full truth about what humanity was becoming. 5 years passed since the day humans revealed their longevity treatment to the Galactic Council. Earth had changed in ways no one could have predicted. The first group of humans to receive the treatment called themselves the Extended. They numbered 10,000, carefully selected from all walks of life. Scientists, artists, teachers, and workers. Each had agreed to help guide humanity's new path among the stars. Admiral Lisa Mitchell stood on the observation deck of the newly built Earth Embassy on the Council homeworld. At 53, she looked no older than 30. The treatment had worked perfectly for her. Beautiful view, isn't it? Said a familiar voice. Lisa turned to see Eric and Olivia walking toward her. The two scientists had married 3 years ago, after working side by side to perfect the treatment. The ceremony starts in an hour, Eric reminded her. Are you ready? Lisa nodded. As ready as I'll ever be. Today was a historic day. Earth would officially become a full member of the Galactic Council, with all rights and privileges. No longer would humans be seen as the short-lived newcomers. They had earned their place. Have you seen the latest adaptation reports? Olivia asked, showing Lisa a tablet. The colony on Proxima Centauri V has had amazing results. Their bodies are adapting to the higher gravity in just 1 generation. The Extended can adapt faster than any species in the galaxy, Eric added. What would take other races centuries of evolution takes us decades. Lisa smiled. That's what scares them, you know. Not just that we live as long as they do now, but that we change so quickly. The 3 friends walked together toward the Grand Council chamber. Many aliens nodded respectfully as they passed. Some even bowed slightly, a sign of honor in the council traditions. Inside the chamber, representatives from over 500 worlds had gathered. The room fell silent as the humans entered. The council leader rose to speak. Today we welcome Earth as a full member of the Galactic Council. Their journey among us has been short but remarkable. Lisa took her place at the new Earth seat, positioned between the Luminarans and another ancient race called the Vorli. Before we proceed, the council leader continued, the Zoraxian Empire has requested to speak. Lisa tensed. The Zoraxians have been quiet for years, retreating to their own systems after their attempted threat against Earth had failed. What did they want now? To her surprise, it was not Ambassador Krell who approached the speaking platform, but a younger Zoraxian she didn't recognize. I am Zav, son of Krell, the Zoraxian said. My father has stepped down from his position. I come today to offer the formal apology of the Zoraxian Empire for actions taken against humanity. Murmurs filled the chamber. This was unexpected. We who live long lives became set in our ways, Zav continued. We forgot that youth brings innovation and that different paths can lead to wisdom. The humans have taught us this lesson. Lisa stood and approached the platform. The Earth Alliance accepts your apology. We look forward to a new relationship between our peoples. As the ceremony continued, Eric watched from his seat. He thought about how far they had come from the day aliens had laughed at human lifespans. Now those same aliens looked to humans with respect, and even a little fear. The irony wasn't lost on him. Humans had been forced to burn bright and fast because of their short lives. They had to make the most of every moment, driving them to achieve more in decades than other species did in centuries. And now, with time on their side, there was no limit to what humanity might accomplish. After the ceremony, Lisa found a quiet moment alone. She looked out at the stars, thinking of all the worlds humans would visit in the coming centuries. She would see many of them herself, with her extended lifespan stretching before her. "Who's laughing now?" she whispered to the stars. Later that night, as celebrations continued across Earth and its colonies, Eric and Olivia stood on a balcony overlooking the council city. In the distance, ships from hundreds of worlds filled the sky. "What do you think happens next?" Olivia asked, leaning against her husband. Eric smiled. "Next, we show the galaxy what humans can really do when we have all the time in the world." As the sun set on the council homeworld, a new era dawned for humanity among the stars.